The story starts from Jinyun Gate, located in Tianzun. There are 10 major schools, each with thousands of disciples, martial artists that can defy the heavens, and gods that can turn mountains and seas. After that we see a girl saying, "Brother Zoch Chen, you were originally a disciple of Kinyan. It took you only 3 years to break through to the 10th heaven rank, only a step away from the divine realm, and condensing your own divine power from dragons. It's a pity that your meridians were completely destroyed, leaving no trace of true energy, stripped of the position of core disciple by Elder Feng, and turned into a slave. But no matter what, I'll always support you and hope for your reawakening one day. I will go to Elder Feng and ask for justice." After saying that, she leaves and goes out of the room. Suddenly we see lightning around Zoch Chen's body. After that he suddenly wakes up and thinks the thunder tribulation did not kill me. No, this is not my physical body. Did a piece of my remnant soul escape and get attached to this child? I was the Supreme Master of Physique among the 9 Supreme Beings of Heaven, Zoch Chen. But because I couldn't condense my true energy, I had to forcibly rob others of their treasures to enter a higher realm. But during the robberies, I got sneak attacked by Supreme Emperor and Supreme Sword and was killed. Fortunately, my soul was strong, and a ray of consciousness survived and attached to this seriously injured kid. I was able to become a Supreme before, and will certainly be able to do it again. Break the void and become a Supreme One. Supreme Emperor, Supreme Sword, and Leu Han, just wait for me. I will repay blood with blood. This kid's meridians are completely destroyed and he is crippled, but it is suitable for me to practice Taiko quenching. It's a pity that in this life I still can't condense true energy. Should I do this the old way again? Then while seeing the divine stone in his hand, he thinks, is this a divine stone? I and expect this body to be born with a divine aptitude. When I enter the second level of Taiko quenching, the divine stone will awaken, and the divine power is bound to be above the level of heaven. There is potential to break through the level of heavens. Divine power and cultivation is the same as Shentong Chuan Huang 4th Order 16th grade. There are very few who are born with Danhai's divine power. When someone with divine power breaks through the divine realm, they will have control over 2 different kinds of divine power, both of which are extremely strong. There are very few people with this constitution. Even in the heavens I have only seen a handful of people with such a high degree of talent. This life, I am destined to be invincible on the earth and in the heavens. Lei Yunfei, I hope you can live well. Wait for me in the heavens. After thinking all that, he tries to enter the heavens and gets successful. Then he thinks, it took me a year in my previous life to enter the first heaven. Others could not even enter it in 3 or even 5 years. Unexpectedly, the body of this life has an extremely strong talent. Taiko quenching first heaven power is comparable to the power of the 10th heaven. This is great. After that he listens, someone is saying something from outside. A guy standing outside says, "Brother Fei, congratulations on your promotion to inner disciple. This is the place you will live and practice in the future. I ascent this the place where Brother Zoch Chen lives. I'm afraid he would have to call you teacher now. You've been in seclusion for a year, so it's normal you wouldn't know." After listening to that, Fei says, "Tell me about it." Then the guy says Zoch Chen was plotted against by others and lost his cultivation. He was also deprived of his position as a core disciple and was turned into a slave. After listening to him, Fei says, "I did not expect that this would happen to him. I remember that when I first joined the sect I was scolded by him." Then the both enters inside the house, and while entering, Fei asks Zoch Chen, "Why are you still here?" After listening to him, Zoch Chen says, "Get out right now. I won't say it again." Then the guy who came with Fei shouts at him that, "Zoch Chen, you have already been stripped of your position as a core disciple by Elder Feng, so you're not qualified to stay in this inner courtyard. How dare you order us around?" After that, the people who are near to them starts talking with each other that there's a fight going on over there. Let's check it out. Who is fighting? Zoch Chen and Brother Fei. Then a crowd gathers around them, and the people in that crowd says, "How can Zoch Chen get up from bed after what happened? After being attacked by me? His meridians were completely destroyed. He is nothing more than a cripple. Before he had lost consciousness, he was acting like a madman. Could it be that he has managed to heal? Zoch Chen was seriously damaged. How can such an injury heal already? Let alone an elder strike. Even if a gatekeeper striked him, there would be no effect." Brother Liu Feng just said that Zoch Chen scolded him. If it was in the past, Liu Feng would get scared by just looking at Zoch Chen, to the point of kneeling at just the sight of him. But now, while listening to all of them, he thinks it seems like the owner of this body was very arrogant, and the relationship between him and others isn't very good. After that, Liu Feng says, "Zoch Chen, you are no longer what you used to be. Do you think you still hold the position of one of the top 5 core disciples?" After that, a person says from crowd that, "Brother Feng, start lightly, don't kill him in one move. Otherwise, how will we explain this to Sister Jiang Mei?" Then the 2 guys from crowd talks with each other that Zoch Chen was demoted from core disciple to slave. "If you ask me, he's no longer worthy of someone like Sister Jiang Mei." As far as I know, Sister Jiang Ming joined King Yuman 5 years ago and was chased by beasts in the mountains. Xiao spent a year in bed because he saved her. Sister Jiang Ming was 10 years old at the time. Zoch Chen was 13 years old. After listening to them, Zoch Chen thinks about Jiang Ming and the old days spent with her. When Jiang Ming said to him that Brother Chen, Ming will marry you when she is older. Brother Chen, I've made a roast chicken before in Haoshan. Let's eat one together and taste my cooking. And he said her master said that I have to train hard. I may rarely come out, but you can rest assured that I will sneak out to see you. And then she said, Brother Zoch Chen, you need to hurry up and break through to the God realm. If you can do that, I will certainly persuade my master to give her consent to our marriage. While looking at Zoch Chen, Liu Feng thinks if I defeat Zoch Chen today, Sister Jiang Ming will take notice of me. I will also have a chance with her. After that, Liu Feng goes to punch Zoch Chen. While looking at Liu Feng, Zoch Chen smiles and says courting death. And then Zoch Chen punches him so hard that he falls far away from him. After taking Zoch Chen's punch, he gets faint. While looking at him, people get shocked and says Liu Feng was defeated. Wasn't Zoch Chen a cripple? Was he faking it just to catch him off guard? After that, Zoch Chen asks who's next. Then Fei says, Brother Zoch Chen, this matter has nothing to do with me. Then he kneels down in front of him and says, I don't know anything. After that, Leu Han comes there and asks what's going on over here. Why are you all gathered around? Then a guy from crowd says, Elder Brother Leu Han. Brother Liu Feng was seriously injured by Zoch Chen. After listening to that, he gets shocked and goes to his brother. And while looking at him, he thinks the meridians are broken, the Sea of Kai is damaged. Even if he is healed, he will lose several levels of cultivation. After that, he asks Zoch Chen, why did you do this? While looking at this, the two guys from crowd says Leu Han is Liu Feng's biological brother. And Zoch Chen not only seriously injured him, he also ruined his future in cultivation. I'm afraid Leu Han will not let Zoch Chen go today. In the past, Brother Zoch Chen and Brother Leu Han used to duel each other. Today, looking at the situation, Brother Leu Han will have an increase in strength due to his anger. After Leu Han shouts at Zoch Chen that how dare you hurt my brother. Then Zoch Chen replies, why wouldn't I dare? Are you an immortal? After that, Zoch Chen says, how pitiful. Let me show you the full technique. And goes to attack Leu Han. At first he punches Leu Han, but he dodged the punch. Then he grabs his hand and locks his body in a sarcastic way. While looking at this, the disciples of Leu Han get shocked and says, how did Leu Han lose so miserably? Was Zoch Chen hiding true his abilities? What kind of martial arts technique is that? After that, Liu Feng wakes up and sees his brother in that condition. While looking at Leu Han, Zoch Chen says, I thought you said I'd be the only one dying today. Then Leu Han replies, no, it was a misunderstanding, and says, I am a disciple of Nimin. If you kill me, the elders won't let you go. We can make a deal. If you don't kill me, I will tell you news about Sister Jiang Ming. After listening to him, Zoch Chen says, tell me. Then Leu Han says, if you promise me that you won't kill me, I'll tell you. After that, Zoch Chen gets angry and says, I don't like negotiating with the dead. Go die. While looking at Zoch Chen that he is going to kill him, Leu Han says, I'll tell you. I'll tell you today. Many important figures came to meet the patriarch. They chose to send away Jiang Ming. After listening to him, he gets shocked and asks him what. Then Leu Han replies, I don't know the details. But the gatekeeper and patriarch were both in awe. After that, Zoch Chen says, I'll let you off the hook this time, and runs towards the Quinian Hall. While running, he thinks it seems like there are some secrets surrounding your little sister. But you can rest assured that I will never let anything happen to her. I swear it on my life. Suddenly he sees something and thinks, what is this black gas? Has the last bit of his soul finally vanished? Rest assured that from now on, I am you and you are me. Meanwhile, Liu Feng goes to his brother and gives him elixir for healing. Then Leu Han thinks, Zoch Chen, I can't kill you, but they can. No matter how physically strong you are, you can't beat someone who can control spiritual Kai. Meanwhile, later at Qijian Hall, an old guy asks Duan Siliang, why has Jiang Ming been brought up here yet? Then Duan Siliang replies, please be patient. Jiang Ming will be here soon. After that, a lady says, Sect Master has such a big temper, you will be certain when you see Jiang Ming. And asks him, it's your Blaze sect that's taking her away, right? After that, they both looks at each other. Then a disciple comes there and says, Patriarch Jiang Ming has arrived. After that, she enters the hall. While looking at her, an old man says, not bad at all. Then Jiang Ming says, disciple Jiang Ming greets the patriarch. After that, patriarch tells her to greet the seniors. Then she greets the seniors. After that, she asks patriarch, why have you summoned me here? Then he replies, Jiang Ming, the heavens have bestowed you with a great opportunity, and says this is the patriarch of the renowned God Peak. These are the sect masters of the blazing sect in Mystery Valley. These seniors came here to see your spiritual talents and want you to join one of their sects for training. After listening to that, she gets shocked and says, what? They want to take me away. Then the old man says, girl, joining us will open doors for you in the future. Only you have this honor. Then the lady says, little girl, if you follow us, we can help you get stronger. This is a great opportunity, which many people can only dream of. After listening to all of them, she asks them, can I take brother Zoch Chen with me? Then the patriarch of the renowned god Peak gets angry and says, presumptuous. I'm taking you because of your talent. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And asks her, who is this Zoch Chen? Is he even worthy enough to see us? Don't push your luck. After listening to him, she says, in that case, the seniors can return to where they came from. I will not go anywhere without brother Zoch Chen. Also, take back what you said. Brother Zoch Chen is the most talented person I have ever seen. I will not allow you to drag his name through the mud. After listening to her, he gets angry and attacks her, and says, it looks like Duan Siling hasn't taught you the meaning of respect. Just because you have a talent does not give you the qualifications to disobey me. If you irritate me once more, I will kill you. Then the patriarch says, Zhang Meng, the old man is doing this for your own good. As for Zoch Chen, I will explain to him, don't argue anymore. After getting injured, she still says, I will never leave brother Zoch Chen. Then the old man says, I will kill you. While looking at him trying to kill Zhang Meng, the other seniors try to stop him, but old man doesn't stop. While looking at Zhang Meng, the patriarch asks the old man, is this soul binding? Then he replies, that's right. After listening to that, everyone gets shocked. Then the patriarch says, old man, Zhang Meng is my disciple. You actually used a soul binding technique on her. I'm afraid this is improper. Soul binding techniques can cause great damage to the human body and can even destroy their consciousness, making them an idiot for life, and asks him why you're doing this. Then the old guy says, I do things in my own way. You don't have to concern yourself with my business. I've had enough of this Qingyun Gate. I'll take my leave. After that, suddenly Zoch Chen comes there and asks who dares to leave. While looking at him, Zhang Meng says, brother Zoch Chen, and runs towards him. Then she hugs him and says, you are finally awake. While looking at Zhang Meng, the old man thinks, my soul binding broke with one shout. Just who is this kid? Once the soul binding is planted, it is almost impossible to resist or break it, unless the caster releases the technique themselves. If an internal force is used to breach it, it can cause mental damage, but she seems fine. And the patriarch thinks, Zoch Chen, wasn't he on his deathbed? He seems okay to me. Then Zhang Meng starts crying and says, brother Zoch Chen, I knew you would be fine. While listening to her, Zoch Chen thinks it seems this girl has some big secrets. Then the patriarch says, Zoch Chen, you're being rude. The two in front of you are both masters of the god realm and the predecessors of powerful sects. After that, Zoch Chen says, predecessors, using soul binding techniques on a child. Is it something a predecessor of a renowned sect would do? Then the old man says, boy, just because you're a disciple of the Qingyun Gate, I am showing you a bit of mercy. If not, I'm afraid that you would be dead a few times already. After listening to him, Zoch Chen laughs and says, old man, you clearly saw me break your soul binding, and now you're just finding an excuse to avoid trouble. Do you think you can fool me with such words? Then the old man gets ready to attack him, and while attacking, he thinks, I will cripple your cultivation, and then take you back to my sect, and torture you until you reveal how you did it. While looking at them, the patriarch of Qingyun says, old man, Zoch Chen is only in the physical state. What you are doing is going to kill him. Then the old man replies, rest assured, this old man will keep him barely alive. After saying that, he attacks Zoch Chen. While looking at this, the patriarch of Qingyun gets up from his throne and goes to stop the fight. But the master stops him and says, Duan Siling, think before you act, it's the old man. After that, a blast happens inside the hall, and the people standing outside says, what's going on? An enemy attack. After taking the attack from the old man's side, Zoch Chen says, you're too weak. Is this all you've got? Then he thinks the Taiko quenching technique is more powerful than it was in my previous life. Is this continent so weak that they can't even break my defense? After that, the old man attacks again and says, do not get too cocky, brat. While attacking, the old man thinks this kid's physical body can actually block my sword of success. He must carry a big secret. After that, again, Zoch Chen blocks his sword of success attack by only one punch. And while blocking the attack, he says, still too weak. After that, while looking at them, the master says to Sect Master Duan, Qingyun Gate really has some talented disciples. A mere physical state disciple can actually block two of the old man's attacks. Then Duan thinks the current Zoch Chen is stronger than before. He only used his physical strength to block the two attacks from the old man. I don't know what changes he has undergone at the verge of death, but this can only bring good for Qingyun men. After that, while looking at Zoch Chen that he again blocked his attack, the old man gets angry and says, boy, try this old man's trick. Then while again going to block the attack, he says, that's more like it. After that, the patriarch attacks with his snake attack, and Snake takes all the swords inside his mouth. While looking at this, Zoch Chen thinks, is this the patriarch's technique? After that, the old man asks Duan Siling that, are you trying to make an enemy of this old man? Then he replies, I dare not. It's just I'm afraid you would kill Zoch Chen with your strength. Don't take it personally. After that, he tells Zoch Chen to hurry up and apologize to the old man, and says Ming can be given a chance. However, I can only protect you just this once. Next time I won't be able to do it. Then Zoch Chen says apologize, dream on, and says to Ming that rest assured they won't take you away, and takes her away. But suddenly the old man screams halt, and says there is nothing I can't get if I want it. Then suddenly a guy flying in sky says mere ants dare to covet the people of the Jang family. While listening to him, the old man says, who's that? Come out. After that, the guy attacks the old man and turns him into ashes. While looking at this, Zoch Chen says not bad at all. And the other master says the old man was instantly turned into ashes. Who the idiot? Then a guy and a girl shows up. The guy tells the girl Shaimai, this is the true nature of the martial world, and says the aura here is thin, and the strongest person in the Qingyuan Gate is just a measly god realm. Master is too careful and actually sent you and me here. Then the girl says don't underestimate the Shenwu realm. This is the Tianzun domain. It is not among the weakest martial arts domains. Besides, you look down on the Shenwu realm, but aren't you afraid of Emperor Shenwu? After listening to her, the guy says, what about Emperor Shenwu? He is only a half-step supreme. In front of Master, he is nothing but an ant. Then the girl says that arrogance of yours will kill you sooner or later. After that, the guy asks her, do you think someone in this domain would be powerful enough to kill me? Then the girl replies, don't forget, in order to come to this realm, our cultivation has been suppressed in the god's realm. Even though we were given spiritual weapons by Master, there are still countless people who can kill us. While looking at them, Zoch Chen thinks these two are very powerful. Meanwhile, later in Qingyuan Gate Forbidden Area, the old man gets up from his meditation and thinks, damn child dare to come to my Qingyuan Gate and cause trouble. Then he coughs and the blood comes out of his mouth. After that, an oracle voice says, ignorant old man, I came here with my brother to take away a member of my Jang family who has been living in exile. This matter has nothing to do with you. We will leave when we finish. While feeling the power of them, the old man thinks they are so powerful. I'm at the peak of the god realm and couldn't resist at all. It has long been known that Jiang Ming does not have a simple background. I just hope a disaster does not fall on the Qingyuan Gate. Meanwhile, outside the hall, the guy tells Jiang Ming that sure enough, you're from my Jiang family. Come with me. Then the patriarch says, this mighty one, dare I ask who you are? Which sect are you from? After listening to Duan, the guy turns back and looks at him and attacks him, by which the blood comes out from Duan's mouth. While looking at that guy, the other masters get shocked and thinks this person is too strong. After that, the guy says to Huang Ming, let's go, and moves his hand towards her. But Zoch Chen stops him. Then the guy says, take your dog paws off me. After that, Zoch Chen says, so you want to take her away? Let's see if you have what it takes. While looking at his hand, the guy thinks, how could this boy in the physical state have this much strength? Then he frees his hand from him and says, get out of my way, kid. I'm not here for you. If you get in my way again, I will kill you on the spot. After listening to him, Zoch Chen replies, that depends on whether or not you have the ability. Then the guy says, you are courting death. And then he shows him his power. While looking at that, Jiang Ming says, what is that? And the other master starts feeling dizzy. After that, the guy says, kid, looks like you're a bit lucky. Leave obediently, and I might spare your life. Even though I slightly opened the seal which is suppressing my cultivation, you and the other ants are still not my match. While looking at him, Zoch Chen thinks, Heavenly Wonder Peak. My Taiko quenching is only at the first level. To cope with an opponent of the pinnacle of spiritual powers, at least the second level of Taiko quenching is needed. After that, the guy says, well, if you can reach the same level as me right now, within 10 years I will allow you to follow me and be a slave in the Zhang family. And ask him, what do you say? Then Zoch Chen replies, slave for the Zhang family. Who do you think I am? After the girl says to that guy, what are you arguing with him for? Take Jiang Ming and leave. Then suddenly he sees that the guy attacked Zoch Chen. After that, he blocks his attack. And while blocking the attack, he thinks, what a powerful pressure. The Taiko quenching body method is the way to refine the body. The external pressure from this attack could help me practice. After that, he blocks his attack, asks the guy, is that the full extent of your strength? Then the guy gets angry and says, since you want to die so bad, then I will help you, and attacks Zoch Chen with more big and powerful attack. The attack is so powerful that the masters who are standing there falls down, and a big blast happens. Then girl protects Huang Ming from all this because they want to take her with them safely. After that, the guy again attacks and says, ants, turn to ashes. Then from his attack, Zoch Chen's clothes gets torn. After that, Zoch looks at the big type of box-looking thing falling at him, and the guy again attacks with his attack named 8 Wild Thunderstorm. While looking at his moves, Zoch Chen says, the power of a good and overbearing thunder is exactly what I need to strengthen my lightning-quenching body. Spiritual C. It's the spiritual power of the thunder attribute. God has helped me. After that, saying all that, he rages and summons the powers. While looking at him, they both get shocked, and the guy thinks, how is he not dead? He must have some tricks up his sleeve. And the girl thinks, how is this possible? After that, the guy says, if that's what you want, then gets ready to attack Zoch Chen with his attack named Thunder Dao 10 Directions. After that he attacks Zoch Chen, and this attack is more powerful than the old one. It is so powerful that the King Yun Hall's terrace breaks. Suddenly Zoch Chen sees that his spiritual sea is also break, and while looking at this he thinks unexpectedly, this is the divine spiritual power of life. Haha, I did not think I would have the divine power of the God of life. What is the realm of supremacy in comparison to something like this? It's easy to rob someone of their life. The divine power of life is the most precious divine power in this world. The soul and body is combined by one mind. There is no disadvantage, and the divine power of the God of life can be cultivated separately. What is most important is that those who possess the power of divinity can reshape and rebuild their physical body, even if the physical body is destroyed. In my previous life, the Devil Dao Emperor's remnant sword possessed the divine power of life, and the power it wielded could be compared to the Supreme Realm when I was only in the Great Emperor Realm. While looking at the fog, the guy thinks Zoch Chen is dead from his attack, and he says unexpectedly, "There's such a talented kid in a domain like this. What a pity." After listening to that guy, Ming also thinks he is dead, then he shouts his name and cries for him. Suddenly she gets attacked by them and she gets faint. While looking at her, the girl says, "You have deep affection for this stupid boy. But when you come to the Jang family, you will know that there are countless outstanding men in this world, and the one in front of you is nothing in comparison to us. Little girl, you will thank us in the future." While they are taking Ming, suddenly Zoch Chen says from behind, "Where do you think you're going? This little bit of thunder doesn't even tickle me." While looking at Zoch Chen that he is standing on his feet and he is alive, the guy gets shocked and says, "Impossible. You're only in the physical state. How can you be this strong?" Then girl says, "It seems that the master is right. There are countless strange people and things in the 9 realms. I am afraid this boy might have the greatest talent I've seen, not taking any damage from the power of thunder." After that the guy summons his spear, and then he says, "You are very good boy. I underestimated you, and I admit I only used half my power. This is my second spiritual weapon. Your life depends on whether or not you can survive this time." After saying all that, he throws the spear towards him. While looking at his weapon, Zoch Chen says, "This technique was created with my original source of spiritual power. Go to hell." Then he gets ready to attack the guy with his attack named Heavenly Fire. While attacking, he thinks although the Heavenly Fire is only a 3rd grade technique, it will be enough. After that the spears gets destroyed by Zoch's Heavenly Fire attack. And while looking at this, Zoch Chen thinks the Taiko quenching body combined with spiritual power is so powerful. After getting injured, the guy thinks, "I got injured by a martial artist from this pitiful domain." And the girl says, "Brother, this kid is strange. I'm afraid that his martial arts are earth level. Stop holding back and kill him before he goes through any more changes." Then the guy says how rare the earth level techniques are. "Even the 3 of you and me, we can only master a part of an earth level technique of martial arts. I did not think that a mere physical state boy could master the earth level technique." And then he asks Zoch Chen, "Boy, what in the world are you?" Zoch replies, "You don't deserve to know." After that the guy says, "For decades, no one could hurt me, all except you. You have the qualification to die by my hands." Then he goes to attack Zoch Chen again with his Overlord Spear, 2nd form attack. While looking at his attack, Zoch Chen says, "Let's see to what extent the Taiko quenching body combined with divine spiritual powers can make my body stronger." And while looking at Zoch Chen, the guy thinks impossible. His body was stunned by the Overlord with double spiritual powers. Even the Great Emperor can't do that. After that the girl says it seems that it is time to move. Then the boy tells her that we must kill this boy. And while looking to his body, Zoch Chen thinks, "What a powerful body. Only the 2nd level, and it can actually stop an attack from someone with a cultivation of peak god realm with such a small backlash. Great, with a body like this, I can confidently perform the strongest martial arts skill of the heavenly realm, Tianwang Quan." There are a total of 7 punches in Tianwang boxing. One punch is more dominant than the other, but the strain on the body is also very high. In my previous life, I waited until the 4th level of the Taiko quenching technique before I could make my first punch. In this life, with the 2nd level of Taiko quenching, it is enough to perform the first punch. After that they both gets ready to attack Zoch Chen with their spears with more energy and power. While looking at their energy, Zoch Chen says, "Oh, it's a mighty force." Then they both throws their spears on him. After that Zoch Chen performs his attack named Tianwang Quan 1st form, Heaven and Earth, which is so powerful that not only the attack breaks their spear but also injures them. After falling down, the girl says this is impossible, and the guy asks him how can this happen. Then Zoch Chen replies, "My body was barely able to use half a fist, but these half punches are enough." After listening to him, the guy asks him, "What kind of martial arts do you practice?" Zoch Chen replies, "You do not deserve to know." After listening to him, the guy gets angry and says, "Don't be too naughty boy," and thinks fight him again, but his sister stops him and tells him that this kid's body is too too weird. Our cultivation base is sealed here. I am afraid we are not his opponent. After that, the guy says to Zoch Chen, that boy, in this Shenwu realm, we can't show our true strength. You got lucky this time. But you offended the Jang family today, so you will die. After saying all that, they suddenly disappears and leaves. Then Zoch Chen says, Jang family, they are nothing but ants to me. After that, he goes to Jang Ming and says, fortunately, she just passed out. Rest assured, as long as I'm here, I will never let you be taken away by anyone. Meanwhile, later in Jiayuan Boundary King Meng State, that guy says, I'm furious. It makes me so mad. I have never been humiliated like this before. Then the girl says that boy is too strange. We have to think about how will we explain this failure to master. After that, the boy turns around and says, no, this mission must not fail. Pass on my order. Find out the most powerful force in the Shenwu realm. Tell them, destroy Qingyun Gate and bring Zhang Ming alive. Meanwhile, later at Zhang Ming's room, Zoch Chen thinks there's no way that those two are going to give up this easily. The Shenwu realm among the 9 realms is the weakest one. If you want to come here, you have to suppress your cultivation. The words of Xiangzi may cause the anger of the laws of heaven and earth, in order to experience the lighting and never move again. I'm afraid they won't be back anytime soon. Other flies, rats, and ants, however, are less so. I need to get stronger. From the moment I was reborn, I was destined to become one with this body. So, as long as I live a day in the morning, I will never allow anyone to hurt you. No one, not even all the supreme beings of heaven and earth. After that, at Qingyun Hall, the patriarch and other masters wakes up, and the patriarch asks them what happened. An old master asks what is the origin of those two. Then they both suddenly leaves and says to Patriarch Master Duan, we will take our leave first. After that, Master Duan thinks who is Zhang Ming. Meanwhile, later in above the 9 realms inside the Supreme Hall, Yunfei says, why do I feel a trace of it? After listening to him, the girl asks him what's wrong. Then Yunfei replies, it's alright. Although Zoch Chen is dead, I always feel a little uneasy. Then a man says he is dead. What are you afraid of? Next, we must seize the time to break through the higher realms. After listening to him, Yunfei smiles and says, that's right. With the help of the two of you, this time I will certainly be able to survive the Thunder Tribulation and ascend to real fairy rank. Then the man says that is only natural. Meanwhile, later at Mount Qingyuan, while meditating, Zoch Chen thinks Taiko quenching of the 2nd level is equivalent to the peak of spiritual powers. Just before breaking through the unstable foundation, I could only use half a fist of the Tianwang fist. Using these half punches puts a toll on the body. Therefore, in addition to Tianwang Quan fist, we must practice some life-saving techniques. I choose you, Earthly 9 grade Sky Scream. This is hard on the body. There was once an insanely strong man in this universe. Just a roar from him could collapse countless universal planes in an instant. The Sky Scream is a fabulous skill of roaring Tianzun. Although it is only a martial art of the earth level, it contains a soul attack, which can directly cause great damage to a martial artist's spirit. Now it has become the strongest technique I can practice. After that, he roars and thinks unexpectedly. I learned this Sky Scream in an instant. On one hand, I'm afraid that I am a man of 2 generations. The soul is 10 times more powerful than ordinary people. And on another hand, my divine power of life. After that, he laughs and says it turns out that this divine power lets me learn just about any martial arts skill with just a glance. The Earth 9 grade martial arts. I'm afraid in the Shenwu realm, it should be regarded as the top level martial arts skill. Now, let's make the Shenwu realm fun. Meanwhile, at Duan Siliang's mansion, Master Duan shouts you, how did you get in here? And asks him, who are you? He replies, I'm Supreme God of Physique, Zoch Chen. After listening to him, Duan gets shocked and says, you are a reincarnated Supreme. I have heard from my predecessors that there is a sect in the Supreme Realm of the various heavens. It seems to be called the Ancient Buddhist Sect. After they pass away, they can reincarnate their souls and start life anew. Zoch Chen, no, Senior you. Then Zoch Chen says it is not just Buddha who can be reincarnated, and thinks in my previous life, even though I was a Supreme, I have never heard or seen this Buddhist sect. Now that I can be reborn, this so-called reincarnation is not impossible. I wonder if I can meet a reincarnated expert in this Shenwu realm. After that, calls Duan Siliang. Then Dua replies, yes, Senior. After that, Zoch asks him, will you submit to me? Then Duan replies that Duan is willing to serve you. After that, Zoch Chen tells him that, follow me and you won't suffer, come closer. Then Duan comes closer to him and sees a lighting ball, and asks him what is this. After taking it inside his body, Duan says, oh, now I understand. This is 2nd grade Lieyang Palm. Senior, such a great gift is hard to repay. Then Zoch Chen says this is only an earth level technique. If you aren't doing too bad now, it will not just be this kind of garbage martial arts technique that I'll teach you. After that, he sits at the chair and asks Duan to tell him the situation of Qingyun Gate and the domain in detail. Then Duan replies yes, yes of course, and says Tianyuan domain is one of the 49 domains of Shenwu realm, and its overall strength ranks in the top 10. We have more than 7,000 disciples at Qingyan Gate, 100 disciples at the Inner Gate, and 5 core disciples. Senior used to be one of these 5 core disciples. Then while listening to him, Zoch Chen tells him to continue. After that, Duan says among the 7,000 disciples, most of them are physical state, and the inner disciples are God realm. As for the core disciples, the remaining 4 have reached the 5th level of the God realm. In addition, there are 18 elders in Qingyan Gate, all of whom have reached the 5th level of God realm. There is one elder who has the highest level of cultivation. He is at the pinnacle of God realm. Then there's just me left. I'm also in the God realm. After listening to that, Zoch asks him what are the strongest forces in Tianyan. Then Duan says, there are 3 powerhouses in Tianyan domain, Mystic Valley, Blaze Sect, and Divine Sword Sect. The elder of the Divine Sword sect has been burned to ashes by the Jang family. In addition to the 3 powerhouses, it is our Qingyan Gate, the Black Stone Mountain, not far away, and the Valley of the Beast King. While listening to him, Zoch Chen thinks with the 2nd level of my current Taiko quenching technique, I can easily crush an ordinary peak of God realm. It seems that we must start with those forces first and put the Tianyuan domain in our pocket. After this, I will take down the whole Shenwu realm. Then he says to Duan that go to the next post for Mystic Valley, Blaze Sect, and the Divine Sword Sect. Within 3 days, tell them to surrender to Qingyan Gate. If they do not surrender, I will kill them all. After listening to him, Duan gets shocked and says, Senior, this, although you are strong, but... Then Zoch Chen asks him, but what? Duan replies, the Mystic Valley and the Blaze Sect are not a problem, but the Divine Sword Sect, in it there is an elder, Zy, who has broken through the God realm and reached the Reunion realm. After listening to that, Zoch Chen smiles and says, interesting. It's okay, just do as I said. I would like to see what kind of storms can be caused by the Reunion realm. After that, he tells him to keep his identity a secret for now, and says in front of outsiders, I am still that disciple Zoch Chen, and ask him, do you understand? Then Duan replies, yes, of course. After that, while leaving, he thinks Leu Yunfei, just wait for the day I come back, and says, by the way, I hate people who are sneaky. Just this once, I won't kill. After saying all that, he leaves, and the old man who is hiding behind comes out and says to Duan, this supreme reincarnation, I don't know it is a blessing or a curse. Then Duan says, I hope it's a blessing. Meanwhile, later, all the people who passed out during the fight between Zoch Chen and the strange girl and boy who want to take Zhang Ming with them, wakes up and ask each other that, what happened? Was I asleep? I seem to have been asleep too. What's going on? What just happened? Were we asleep? Then a guy gets up and laughs and says that Zoch Chen, I'm afraid that he's dead now. Suddenly fire flows and gate opens. Then the guy asks, who is it? After that, Zoch Chen comes out and asks all of them, why are you guys still here? Want to stay and steal a meal? After looking him alive, everyone gets shocked and Liu Feng asks his big brother, why isn't he dead? Then Leu Han thinks no, it's impossible. With Zoch Chen's character, he would certainly offend the masters of the big sects, and he will inevitably be killed. After that, Zoch Chen asks him, Leu Han, do you want to get beaten up by me again? Then he replies, no, I'm leaving right now. After that, while seeing them leave, Zoch Chen says a bunch of trash. Then while leaving, Leu Han says, Zoch Chen, so what, you've beaten me? Weren't you obediently watching when Zhang Ming was getting taken away? Trash. Absolute trash. After saying that, he suddenly runs away. And while looking them running, Zoch Chen thinks ants are always ants. Not because of their cultivation level, but their vision and state of mind. Meanwhile, later at Qijian Hall, one of the members asks Sect Master, what happened? Why did the 2 masters suddenly leave? After listening to him, the other members also asks Duan exactly. Sect Master, what is going on? Why do I feel like a part of my memory was erased? And says no. It should be said that the entire Qingyan was stopped for a period of time. Then Duan replies, the elders must have been too tired. As for Zhang Ming, alas, it is a shame that she didn't make it. Originally, Pao Lao and the others took a fancy to Zhang Ming's cultivation qualifications and wanted to take her in as their personal disciple. Unexpectedly, when checking for qualifications, they said that Zhang Ming didn't meet all the requirements, so they went back. After listening to him, Elder Feng gets angry and stands up and asks Duan, silling that, do you think of us as fools? Who would believe that nonsense? Then Duan replies, presumptuous. Elder Feng, I am the sect master of Qingyan Gate. After listening to him, Elder Feng again sits down. Then Duan says, I have called you all here today to make an announcement. Pass on my orders. Ordering the Excalibur, Divine Sword Sect, Mystic Valley, and Blaze Sect. They have 3 days to surrender to our Qingyan Gate. But if there is any resistance or disagreement, then we will kill them. After listening to him, all of them get shocked. Then Elder Feng again gets angry and says, Duan Siliang, are you crazy? You are digging your own grave. You want the 3 powerhouses to submit to us by using our own power. If you want to die, don't drag us down with you. After that, Duan says want to alert them. Now that I have already spoken about this, it means that the elders are bound together with me, unless you want to die. Then Elder Feng says Duan Siliang, I know that your spiritual powers are at the 8th level, but what can you do? I wanted to give you more time, but I didn't expect you to be so anxious to die. Let me tell you, all the elders of Qingyun Gate has joined me. Today, the position of the Qingyun Gate sect master is mine. You have managed to break through to the 8th rank of God realm. Not bad. Duan Siliang, we are at the same level now. However, I have a more powerful martial art technique, the Flaming Palm of the 4th grade. There is also the support of these 17 elders. Even if you team up with Elder Tai Shang, you still won't be our match. After listening to him, Duan says it turns out that you all have planned this ahead. A martial arts skill of this level was given to you by the Divine Sword sect. Then Elder Feng replies that's right. It was the Divine Sword sect, and says from this day on, I am the sect master of the Qingyun Gate. I advise you to stay here and don't be rash. I am saving your life. After listening to him, Duan says you'll all regret this. Then Elder Feng replies regret. I haven't regret anything in my life. After that, Duan sees down to his legs and says what? Is this a seal array? I'm not able to move. Then Elder Feng says Duan Siliang, just stay here, and then he leaves with all other elders. After that, the old man who is with Duan asks him why didn't you attack? Even if it is difficult to kill them, it is not impossible. Then Duan replies it's Sayo. No, I mean Senior Supreme. After that, the old man sees something in Duan's hand and says it turns out to be the communication stone. Then seeing to that communication stone, Duan says Feng Huifeng. This time, you have hit the iron plate. After that, while seeing his communication stone ringing, Zoch Chen says really, can't even let me rest for a moment. But fortunately, taking advantage of this opportunity to remove those small rats in one swoop is the best choice for me. Then he listens the announcement and says are they so anxious to make an announcement? After that, he sees the mask and says the mask made by Duan Siliang looks nice. Then he wears the mask and says in the future, my other identity is Heavenly Venerate. Meanwhile, later at Qingyun Temple Meeting Hall, Hai Tong says to his friends I don't know what has happened. Then his friend says I care more about my memory than this. After listening to him, Hao Tong says yeah, I also asked my master about this, but master told me to rest more. Then the other guy asks him Zoch Chen didn't come. After that, he replies this waste, I'm afraid that he hasn't woken up yet. Then a guy comes there and says I really don't know how a stupid person like you became a core disciple. Zoch Chen woke up early, but he also defeated Leu Han and Liu Feng in one move. After listening to him, Hao Tong asks him aren't his meridians damaged? When did he resume cultivating? Then the other guy says even if they are restored, he is still a waste. After that, Lin Bai comes there and says rather than talking about others here, it is better to think about how to improve your own cultivation. The 3 of you have been stuck in the 6th spirit realm for more than a year. Compared to Zoch Chen, I think you are the waste. If Zoch Chen had not been brutally assaulted, he would already be at the 6th spirit level. This kind of level is far better than you guys. After listening to him, that boy says to Lin Bai, let's talk about Zoch Chen later. It's all about you. Don't think that your cultivation is above us. You can't be brazen in front of us. Then Lin Bai replies Zoch Chen is my sworn brother, and says you humiliate him like this. As his brother, I will take the lead for him. Moreover, your cultivation is not that high, so you can fight me if you're not satisfied. After that, a person from the crowd shouts, here they come. Then all elders comes there and sits on their seats. After that, Feng asks them is everyone here? While looking at him, Lin Bai thinks why is Elder Feng sitting on Master's seat? Then Hao Tong says, Master actually sits at the position of the headmaster, and asks Feng could you give the position of the student leader to me? While listening to him, Feng thinks what's going on. Could Elder Feng have occupied the throne? Elder Lai, the master of Sheng Guanfei, and Elder Hong, the master of Chai Huateng are here. After thinking that, he steps back and takes out his weapon. Then Feng says starting today, Duan Siliang will step down as the host of Qingyun Men, and I, Feng Huifeng, will serve as the master of Qingyun Men, and I will be the new host. After listening to it, the people starts crying and says this impossible. How could the dean suddenly disappear? We want to see the dean. Then Hai Tong says to the people, how dare you? It is reasonable that my master became the host of Qingyun Men. If anyone disagrees, beat me first. After looking at this, all other boys says Chai Huateng welcomes the headmaster. Shang Guanfei welcomes the headmaster. And in the afraid of Hao Tong, the people also start saying welcome to the new master. The future of the new leader is endless. After that, he says to Lin Bai, as I said, Lin Bai, it's really unfortunate. It turns out that you are the disciple of the headmaster and you are pressing us everywhere. But you did expect this. Starting from today, I, Hao Tong, am now the headmaster's disciple. After that, Lin Bai asks Feng that master, I wonder where my master is now. Then Fang replies, Lin Bai, your master is very well now. Before coming here, Duan Siliang specifically instructed me to tell you that he is going to retire now. He will not come back in the next 10 years. After listening to him, Lin thinks it is as I expected. Fang Huifeng, how shameless. Then Fang says, I have been quiet for many years, although Master Duan's internal affairs are good. But he lacks ambition, which has caused us to fail to grow. So today, we will announce some news. That is, that from today, King Yuman will. Suddenly someone says from crowd, take Sword Peak, Ecstasy Valley and Flame Sect into submission. After listening to it, Fang asks who is this friend who spoke wildly at our big day of Fang Huifeng. Then Zoch Chen shows up with masks and replies, an ant like you isn't worth being called a friend or brother with this deed. Fang Huifeng, I will give you a chance, kneel or die. After listening to him, Fang says, who dares to oppose this headmaster? It was just a guy who doesn't dare to show his face. This old man wants to see how you want to make me kneel down or die. Then suddenly an elder comes out to attack Zoch Chen and says, Elder Fang, let me clean up this trash for you. While looking at this, Hao Tong says this is Xuan Yunjing. This utterly dumb guy is certainly dead. After that, Xuan Yunjing tries to attack him, but Zoch Chen knocks him down with just one slap. While looking at this, the disciples get shocked and says Elder Chuan is knocked instantly. And Lin Bai says, so strong. Where did this man come from? Then Fang thinks, what is the level of this person? In one move he could defeat the elder of the 6th spirit realm. But my cultivation is 8-fold Shentong realm. It is not enough to defeat me. Besides, I still have Nirvana, the mysterious spell which that man gave me, but I haven't used it yet. After that, Zoch Chen looks at Fang and says, it's time for you to die. Then Fang smiles and says, even if it was time. This old man neither kneels nor. Suddenly he stops saying, sees himself kneeling down from his own and thinks, what is this happening? I, Fang Huifeng, won't lose. Why? I still have the mysterious spell. Then Zoch Chen says from behind, you have kneeled and now you'll all die. All through the broken spell. There are still people in King Yunmen. How can you make these spell charms? It's interesting. It's a pity that you didn't kneel earlier. Then it would be possible for you to live. Then he asks other elders and disciples, what about you all? Do you all choose to kneel or to die? After listening to him, Hao Tong asks, Master is dead. Did he die in an instant? Then Zoch Chen says it's time to die. After listening to him, everyone kneels down and says, I am willing to surrender. Then Zoch Chen asks the disciples, what about you? After they also surrenders. Then Zoch Chen looks at Lin Bai and thinks, I didn't expect that Lin Bai actually spoke to defend me. Then Zoch Chen says everyone to get up. After that he says, Duan Siliang, I leave the rest to you. Then Duan comes with Master Taisheng. After that, Lin Bai asks Duan, Master, are you okay? Duan replies yes. Then Lin thinks, who is that elder? Fang Huifeng was killed in one move, and it seems that Master has surrendered to him. After that, Duan says, King Yumen disciples, starting today, King Yumen now officially belongs to Senior Zhu Tianzun. If there is any disobedience, we will kill without amnesty. After listening to him, everyone gets shocked. Then Duan says the glory of King Yumen is coming. Meanwhile, later at Divine Sword Peak, an old man asks Elder Gao Lao, is King Yumen that strong? Are they planning something? Then Gao Lao replies, unlikely. Zhang Ming is the descendant of the Jang family. After listening to him, the old man says, this time I was careless. I thought that Zhang Ming is just a talented person, but I never expected that there would be descendants of the Jang family in the upper world. Elder Gao Lao suffered so much. Now only your soul remains while your physical body is destroyed. Then Gao Lao says, if it wasn't for the secret of Divine Sword Peak, I would have completely died at that moment. After that he says, everyone in the world knows that my Divine Sword Peak stands for swordsmanship. But what they don't know is that Divine Sword Peak's greatest strength isn't swordsmanship, but a secret. You can seal a part of your soul in the Divine Sword Soul. Gao Lao, for reshaping the flesh, at least thousands of pieces of flesh and blood are needed. I will wash the Qingyun gate with blood and come to reshape your body. After listening to him, Gao Lao says, that's good. However, my soul is currently unstable. Then he says, reshaping the body. The power of tens of thousands of those sacrificed will be used by us. Suddenly a disciple comes there and says, Master, King Yumen sent a letter. Then he says to him, what is written? Tell me. After that, the disciple says in the letter, it's written, surrender to King Yumen within 3 days, or you will regret it. After listening to him, he tells his disciple, I see. You can go back. And thinks King Yumen wants to go against my Divine Sword Peak. Have they got connections with the Zhang family? Then he calls 2 elders to come there quickly to meet me. After that, the other masters of other places also reads the same letter that King Yumen is coming to conquer their place. Meanwhile, later Zhang Ming asks Zoch Chen, that brother Zoch Chen, what exactly happened that day? What does the Zhang family mean? And what happened to those 2 people who wanted to take me away? Then Zoch Chen replies, I don't know. Maybe the headmaster kicked them out. But you can rest assured that as long as I am here, no one can take you away from me. After that, she asks him, brother Zoch Chen, How did you repair your meridians? How did you recover? Then he replies, I don't know. When I woke up I felt that my body was full of strength. Maybe this is a blessing from the gods. I can't tell you the truth now. When I return to the top, I will tell you the full truth. Then she says, if that is more important than me, then just don't tell me. But brother Zoch Chen, your cultivation has been restored, so be careful. The person who sneak attacked you at that time hasn't been caught yet. After listening to her he says, I'll be careful. You rest first and I'll see you tomorrow. Then he goes outside and thinks it's time to find out who assaulted this body. Suddenly Lin Bai calls him from behind and says, where have you been these days? King Yumen has changed so much. You better don't expose yourself too much. Forget it, don't stress yourself. How did your cultivation recover? After listening to him, Zoch Chen says, I do not know either. I just woke up and the meridians in my body were repaired. Also better than ever. After that, Ling comes close to him and whispers in his ears that during this time you still have to be careful. The inside of the temple is a little chaotic. I am afraid those who attacked you will try again. Remember to watch out. After listening to Lin, he says, thank you brother Lin for reminding me. Then he thinks this kid really has a bit of a conscience problem. It is not impossible to fix it. After that he leaves, and a group of boys hiding at top of the terrace looks at him. And one of them says, I said long ago that we could also destroy his body, but you are so soft-hearted. Then the other says, now, instead of dying, Zoch Chen has become better than before. After listening to him, the other one says, it's our soft heart. However, the arrival of the Supreme Master has created a better opportunity for us. Now the temple is in a mess, and if we kill Zoch Chen now, who will care about him? Then other one replies, not bad. As long as Zoch Chen is killed, we still have a chance to get Zhang Ming. After one of the guys says, having said that, who is that Zhu Tianzun who actually killed Elder Feng in one move? Now we have to fight with the three major forces. Then suddenly the other one says, hush, don't talk about it. You and I just need to see what happens. Anyway, I've already done a good job at the Divine Sword Peak. You could withdraw anytime you want. When they were talking all these things, Zoch Chen was listening them all. After listening to all of them, he thinks, interesting. I am waiting for you. Meanwhile, later at Divine Sword Peak, all three Master of Blaze Sect, Mystic Valley and Sword Sect are sitting together. Suddenly the Master of Blaze Sect says, good. Duan Siling really wants to fight with us. I really thought he got the Jang family's protection. This bastard. In the past, that King Yumen was scared if we came, trying to make us surrender. Shit. Then Mystic Valley Master says Duan Siling was out of his mind. Was he frightened by the Jang family? Does he really think that a sudden mysterious person can start a war against us? After that, Sword Sect Master says, not bad. According to our information, the spirit power is at least at the pinnacle of the Earth Divine Realm and maybe even higher. Then both the Master asks him, impossible. Is it really higher than the Earth Divine Realm? Probably, however, even if it's an Earth Divine Realm, it is just a first stage. My cultivation at this moment is also a half step. Coupled with the elders of my Divine Sword Peak, a mysterious person can't stand a chance against us. After that he smiles and says, Zhu Tianzun, I'd like to see how you dare to give yourself such a title. Meanwhile, later at Zoch Chen's house, he is sleeping on his bed. A guy sees from the door hole and says, now we can go in. After getting inside his home, they says her house is really easy to get in. Look at this kid who is sleeping like a pig. Less nonsense, more quality. Let's kill. After saying all that, they attack Zoch Chen while he is sleeping. Then suddenly wakes up, and one of them removes his mask, and it turns out that they were Hao Tong and Elder Fang's disciples who came to kill Zoch Chen. After that, Hao Tong says, in this temple everyone will think that you died because of the previous injuries. Nobody will suspect us. But this kid is lucky and died without pain. Then one of them asks Hao Tong, are you crazy to take off your mask at this time? What can we do if someone sees us? Then he replies, Chai Huatang, how did your courage become so small? Zoch Chen is a lonely person. Who would come here? After Thay, Chai Huatang says to Zoch Chen that it's not that we don't give you a way to live, but as long as you live, Zhang Ming won't look at other people differently. And Hao Tong says, not bad. Now that you are dead, Sister Zhang Ming is finally mine. Then Chai Huatang says, Hao Tong, who can get Zhang Ming depends on his ability. After that, suddenly Zoch Chen says, that's right. So, are you two having a good time? After that, they both get shocked and afraid and asks him, are you a ghost? Then Zoch Chen asks them, when did I die? And says, I think you are still too soft. After that, Hao Tong asks him, Zoch Chen, why are you still alive? Then he replies, who told you that the physical state can't withstand an attack with divine realm power? I acted well, didn't I? After listening to him, Hao Tong says to Zoch Chen, now that you know our identity, you will have to die today. Then they both goes to attack him with their moves named Extinction Palm and Rifting Fist, but they see OULD ain't even able to touch him. Then while looking at this, Hao Tong says something is wrong. This feels like that an insect is hitting a huge iron pillar. After that, Zoch Chen says, I said that you two are not enough to deal with me. Then Hao Tong asks him, what kind of monster are you? After that he tells them to open that box and take a look. Then they go towards shelf and sees a mask over there. After looking at the mask they get shocked and asks Zoch Chen, why do you have the mask of the Supreme Master? Then he replies, because I am the Supreme Master. After saying that he pushes Hao Tong back. While looking at his partner that he is not moving, Chai Huatang says, Hao Tong, is he dead? The same way of death as Elder Fang. Zoch Chen, no, Shu Tianzun, please let me go, I'll do whatever you want. Let me go, I beg you. After that Zoch Chen says, impossible. There is only one end for someone who wants to kill me, and it is death. Then he also kills him and thinks this bone flame is really vicious. No wonder that those who practice it all stepped onto the evil ways. It seems that this method should not be used unless it's absolutely necessary. Now that the problems in Kingyunmen have been resolved, next step is just waiting for the unification of the Tianyuan domain. Meanwhile, later Lin Bai asks Duan what we are unifying the Tianyuan domain. Master, who is this Lord of the Heavens? This is just a bit too much. Then Duan puts his hand on his shoulder and says, Zhu Tianzun is Kingyunmen's greatest hope. As a teacher, I believe that the Supreme Master can certainly unify the Tianyuan area. This is the Sun Palm of the 2nd grade. Zhu Tianzun taught it to Master. Now I will pass it to you. The war is about to start and we must strive to improve. After saying that, Duan thinks, should I discuss my cultivation and practice method with him? If Senior helps me, it should be possible for me to easily break through to the next stage. Then the old man comes there and says, I am afraid that before the reincarnation of the great Supreme Master we are not more than the ants on the floor. After that they both looks at each other. And on the other hand, while lying on his bed, Zoch Chen thinks after unifying the Tianyuan domain the next step is the entire Shenwu world. After that he gets up and while seeing the map he thinks, however, the real world is too extensive and if I am the only one, it is too difficult to take care of everything. Duan Siliang is worth training, but his talent is too poor. Zhang Ming is very talented, but she must not be allowed to participate in such things. It seems that we need to develop some talents that can be used by me in the future. Meanwhile, next day morning, we see a guy saying, Mother, I killed the storm wolves. You will be saved from your illness. I will definitely cure you. Then I will join Kingyunmen and become really strong. After that, Zhang Ming comes to Zoch Chen's home and tells him, Brother Zoch Chen, today a new shop opened in Tianyuan City, and asks him, will you accompany me? Then he replies, don't go. A shop? What's there to go for? After listening to him, Zhang Ming gets angry. Then he says, all right, I'll go with you. After listening to that, she hugs him and says, Brother Zoch Chen, you are the best. Meanwhile, later at Tianyuan City, while walking, Zoch Chen thinks, how many years has it been since I have used such a low-level way of moving? After that, Zhang Ming says, Brother Zoch Chen. This time the newly opened store is Chunfeng Tower. It is said that it is the largest store in Tianyu, and even one of the best in Shenwu world. There must be many good things. After listening to her, he asks her, what did you say? G Tower. Then she replies, yeah, the treasures we can find in Chunfeng Tower may be endless, and thinks Brother Zoch Chen's birthday is coming. This time I must give you a surprise. Zoch Chen, I will definitely wait for you. Thousands of years, even if the heavens are gone, I will wait for you. When she was thinking all that, he is able to listen what she is thinking. After that, he thinks now the failure of the robbery must have spread throughout the heavens at this moment. If the sweet craft is known, there may be some mess. Alas, I hope that she isn't so impulsive. Self-cultivation is supreme. How long has it been since I have been shopping this way? Then she points her finger to the tower and says, Brother Zoch Chen, Chunfeng Tower is in front. After listening to her, he replies, all right. Meanwhile, later at Chunfeng Tower, while going inside the tower, she tells him, Brother Zoch Chen, take a look. All these people are VIPs of the Chunfeng Tower. Only they are eligible to participate in the top auction of Chunfeng Tower today. Ordinary guests don't qualify for it. Then he asks her, so we are not qualified? After that, she replies, correct. Even if we are disciples of Kingyunmen, it is not possible without an invitation unless the master comes. After listening to her, he smiles. Then he sees people talking with each other that, hey, have you heard? Among the auctioned items this time there is Xuanjing inner armor. What? Xuanjing inner armor. That's the inner armor which is enough to resist the full power of the advanced divine peak. If you can get it. Are you crazy? How much do you think will this cost? While listening to them, Zhang Ming thinks Xuanjing inner armor. If Brother Zoch Chen has such an inner armor before, he would not have been attacked. And Zoch Chen thinks Xuanjing inner armor sounds good. Giving it to this girl will also give her a little more protection. After that, she says, Brother Zoch Chen, it is much more lively here than in the previous years. Then he sees something and asks her what's there. After that, she stops him from going there and says, don't go there. Don't look at it. Then he asks her, what's wrong with you? After looking at them, he says unexpectedly, the slave business is still going on in Chinfenglu. I didn't know. After that, she says, however, they are all poor people. This is a world where it's the survival of the fittest. The weak will be enslaved. Then he looks around, and after seeing a girl he says that she has a natural body. After listening to him, she asks him, "Brother Zoch Chen, what's the matter?" And while looking at that girl he says, "Such a poor girl." Then she asks him, "Brother Zoch Chen, what's your plan? What do you want to do?" After listening to her, he thinks, if I said that I wanted to buy her, this girl would explode. But a natural body, I must not miss that. The innate body is the same as this girl. But how could Chunfinglu not see the talent of that girl? That's it. The child was cursed, which not only sealed her body in the meridians, but which will also kill her on her 25th birthday. After that, seller says, "Everyone, pass by and have a look. Fresh slaves, fresh slaves. There are beautiful girls and also strong warriors." After that, suddenly a guy comes there and says, "I want to buy one." Then he points his finger on the same girl that Zoch Chen wants to buy. After that, the seller says, "You have good eyesight. Let me tell you." While listening to that, Ming asks Zoch Chen, "Is there anything different about that girl?" Then he replies, "She has a good talent for cultivation. Buy her back and teach her a little bit and she will be a good combat force. On weekdays she can also take care of you for me." After that, she asks him, "Is this really the only reason?" Then he replies, "Yes, really." After that, she says, "Really? Then buy her." Then he asks her, "Are you sure?" She replies, "Yes." After that, suddenly people start talking to each other that why did he come to our Tianzun domain? Hey, I sent that person, the young master of Jiangchuan in the Qingzhou area. You don't know yet, but this time the young master Giant Chuan came to Tianzun to propose a marriage. While looking at the crowd cheering him, Chuan thinks, "Whoops, it looks like I have a good reputation. There are people in Tianzun who know me. That is good." After that, Ming says, "Brother Zoch Chen, I am afraid that we can't buy this little girl." Then he asks her why. "Who is this person?" After that, she replies, "Giant Chuan is a disciple of a big family in the Qingzhou region and is also regarded as a direct disciple. Unlike in Tianzun, there are nearly no good martial arts schools in Qingzhou, but there are countless super families. The Jang family can be regarded as the top 3. After listening to her, he says he is nothing more than just a rich child. Then Chuan turns back and asks, "What? Who said that?" After that, she says, "Brother Zoch Chen, why did you say that? For becoming a super family in Qingzhou, you must have at least 3 advanced divine stage cultivators in your family. The Jang family can rank in the top 3 and there are at least 10 masters." Then someone says from the crowd, "Much stronger than the Tianzun domain." Then she says, "Who said that we are the weakest in the Tianzun domain?" After that, a guy asks her, "Hey, do you not want to live? You dare to talk about our young master?" After listening to him, Zoch Chen gets angry and says, "Say that again." And then he attacks him with his magical powers. After that, the guy thinks, "What is happening? What is this feeling of oppression? I can't help but kneel." Then Zoch Chen tells him, "Well, it is enough for you to know what you did wrong," and tells Chuan, "I want that girl. You changed to someone else." After that, Chuan asks him, "Can you say that again?" Then he replies, "You don't deserve me repeating myself." After listening to him, everyone gets shocked and says that kid is crazy. Oh god, this kid is dead. Then Chuan tells him, "Boy, do you know that I am from the Jang family in Qingzhou?" After listening to him, Zoch Chen doesn't reply and ignores him. Then he tells the seller, "I want this girl," and asks him, "Quickie, tell me how much." When the seller is saying the price, suddenly Chuan stops him and says to Zoch Chen, "Stinky brat, you insult me too much." After saying that, Chuan thinks there is absolutely no such stupid person in this world, knowing that I am from the Jang family, but still has such an attitude. I see, he is a pig eating a tiger. No, someone is going to provoke me. Who is it? The Zhu family? Or the royal family? Wait, there is another possibility. Has this guy not seen anything from this world? Yes, that's it, a physical body stage, and how could he stink to play with me like with chess pieces? Wait, the physical stage, yes. This gives the opportunity for playing pigs and eating tigers. It's still not right with such a simple principle. I can think of it and the rest can naturally fall for it. They are definitely trying to attack me. He wants me to think that I have seen through their behavior. No, there is also the possibility that this guy wants to show off around this girl. Wait, this girl looks so good. Although I am here to propose, if you can receive a small house, that's also a good choice. No, this girl seems to like this fool so much. Should I kill him first? No, wait. It's a trap for catching me after killing someone in the Tianzun domain. Boy, you're still far behind. Then Zoch Chen thinks, what is this fool talking about? After that, he tells the seller, I don't like to say the same thing a second time. Then again, Chuan tries to interrupt them, but he ignores him. After that, Chuan thinks, how dare he ignore me? Wait, it must be to provoke me and to make me become a fool. I will never be fooled. While looking at him, Zoch Chen says that this Zhang kid is sick and his brain is damaged. After that, the girl looks at him with anger and tries to make him afraid of her like an animal. Then Zoch Chen looks at him with a scary face, and from the fear of his eyes, she sits back again. After that, he throws the money on the seller's hand and tells him, here is your money. Now, she is mine. After that he goes to that girl and tells her, I'll take you away from here, now come. Suddenly someone comes there and tells them to wait. After that the man meets Chuan and says, whoops, isn't this Master Jang? I can't imagine that I could meet you here. Then he tells Zoch Chen that, boy, you dare to grab something our Master Jang fantasies. Leave that girl here and roll out. Otherwise, I won't make things easy for you. After listening to him, Zoch Chen says another person who doesn't know who he is dealing with. Then while listening to him, Chuan thinks, who is this guy? Why have I never seen him before? Looks like my admirer. Exactly. Although I cannot take the risk myself, I can borrow his hand to solve this kid. Wait, I know it. There is only one truth. After thinking that, he says, you two are in a group. This mere physical condition kid dares to provoke me. The main purpose must be to let me go out of control so that the other two big families will have the chance to frame me. However, my cultivation is already at the pinnacle of the earth spirit powers. If I am really angry and attack, you will die. Although your plan would be successful, you will lose your life. This is a big mistake for you. The two of you make such a good show. On the surface it looks like this brother shot and hurt you by my command, so that the two big families can pour out dirty water. But in fact, the two of you are in a group and you just want to provoke me to attack. Boy, you can't hide something like this before me. Even though your strategy is amazing, you can't hide it. After listening to him, the people from crowd talks with each other that although I didn't understand what he said, but Master Jang, yeah, what he said sounded so smart. After that the guy asks him, Master Jang, I didn't understand what you meant, but I'm yours. Then he says, shut up, I have nothing to do with you. After listening to him, Zoch Chen thinks, are all the people in the Kingju area so neurotic? Tagging along with them is such a waste of time. Then he tells the girl, from now on, you are mine, and asks her, would you like me to be your lord? Then she again tries to scare him, but he again looks at him with his scary eyes and the girl again calms down. Then he takes the girl with him. Suddenly again Chuan stops him. While looking him leaving, Chuan throws a bag full of spirit stones and says, since it's a business, it is natural that whoever gives the higher price will get the item. Here are 100 spirit stones, which is roughly equal to 10,000 gold coins. While looking at the bag full of 100 spirit stones, the seller says, gosh, 10,000 gold. Then he tells the owner, this person, you have to sell her to me. After that the seller says 10,000 gold coins, but she is only worth 300 gold. Then listening to him, the people in crowd says, so much. It is indeed Master Jang, so rich. After listening to that he had paid 10,000 gold, Zhang Ming also gets shocked. Then the seller tells Zoch Chen that I am a businessman and whoever gives me more money will of course get the item. Therefore, this female slave must be sold to Master Jang. While looking at this, Jang thinks, you want to provoke me and let me play into your hands. But I won't let that happen. I have to deal with you properly. I'm really a genius. After that Zhang Ming says, brother Zoch Chen, 1,000 gold coins is too much. I am afraid that even master can't easily take out so much money. Then Jang tells the girl to come with him, and takes her with him. While taking the girl, Jang thinks although it is not worth buying a female slave for 10,000 gold. Watching this girl's body is turning me on. She has not yet developed. She will certainly be a beauty in the future. It is also a good thing to buy a beautiful woman. While seeing him taking the girl with him, he asks him how much is a ground level martial arts. After listening to him, people starts talking with each other that did I hear wrong? Wow, ground level. Then Zhang Ming asks him, brother Zoch Chen, what did you say? After that he tells him to answer him. Then he says, how can a ground level method be measured by money? Even if it's my Jang family, there are only 3 martial arts. After dodging Zoch Chen's attack, he thinks, what's wrong with me? Why can't I even answer his questions, and why did I almost tell him the inside story of my Jang family? Then he says if it is really to be measured with gold coins, then the martial arts of the first ground level must be at least 30,000 gold. The higher the grade, the higher the value. After that Zoch Chen tells the seller I use a first grade to exchange for this female slave. Then after listening to him, everyone gets shocked and says, what? A ground level martial arts manual, just for a female slave. Then Jang says to Zoch Chen that you're sick. Do you know the value of the first grade ground level? While looking them from above, the landlord of the tower says, isn't that kid from King Yumen? Ground level martial arts. Hey, don't say that. King Yumen doesn't have a single ground level exercise method. Young people are vigorous. They are naturally showing off. Then his servant asks him, landlord, should I go? After that he replies, no, they didn't make trouble after all. If they are really making trouble later, then let them know that this building has the final say. Then he replies, yes sir. Zoch Chen and Jang will fight with each other for a girl, and will it become a bigger problem? The story will become more interesting and amazing from the next coming episodes. What will gonna happen next? To find out, just do like, share, subscribe and comment down if you want the part 2 as soon as possible.